delay is to make sure that you all are aware of what it might be. Ooh, very small, actually less than a second. On our last race, your stream was actually about 6 seconds ahead of MT's. And it was kind of throwing us off about who was ahead of whom in the early game, but we should have a very accurate representation. What's that?
It's hard to say when you got to do it from restreaming. Hard to tell.
Yeah. And very close so far. Both of them going for the main brace wrong warp.
Let's see how they do. Oh no.
Oh no, Puwexil takes damage.
Taking damage there is actually really hard to deal with. It's really early on, and the only thing you want to do is reset.
Exactly.
And the next DK barrel is really far away.
Yeah, you're actually supposed to do a team-up throw in this stage. I wonder if he knows where it is. Yeah, you see he went for it and realized he didn't have his boyfriend. Has to go fairly far out of his way, giving Niakky a pretty significant early lead here.
Yeah.
Even taking the time to switch to Diddy, actually. Just wants to make sure that his Kong order is right.
Just get back on track, honestly. And it's not something a lot of people, even do, because like I said, you screw up in level 2, you reset instantly. You don't even bother trying to find another Kong. This is only something you'll see in a race.
Niakky pretty wisely not going for the top sail wrong warp. I think Puwexil actually opted out of trying Lockjaw. Is that right?
Yeah, he didn't even bother. Just fell down.
Yeah, that's actually what I do. I feel there's just like such a small % chance of me getting it in a race that I don't even want to lose the time to jumping for it.
Yeah, if it's not worth, then don't bother. Puwexil doesn't go for the wrong warp in top sail either.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, not surprising for either runner.
Arguably the hardest wrong warp in the game to do optimally, I would say.
Yeah, and it doesn't save a lot of time at all.
Meanwhile, Crow not being very nice to Niakky, already given him a couple fakes.
Yeah, does get a real one there, though, so that's nice.
Not to get back on top of the nest after the first cycle of fakes. Kind of interesting.
If you get too many fakes, you can sort of get a little bit uncomfortable, so I can see that.
Puwexil getting a fair amount of fakes himself, I think. And they're continuing.
That's not nice.
Alright, well, at least both players have made it out of here. Niakky, surprisingly, going for main brace wrong warp, not going for hothead wrong warp.
Huh.
I think that hothead is considerably easier.
Yes. But I mean, it's not the biggest time save either. So
no, it saves some... Oh, this is not going to work for Puwexil, I'm pretty sure.
No? Did he see the crockhead?
He didn't load it fully.
We'll see.
Oh, I was wrong. Okay. Loaded it enough, I suppose.
Niakky gets the big boy into the warp barrel.
Always a good feeling when you get that.
Yeah.
Puwexil getting the backup to the big boy. You can actually you can catch your other Kong in midair and just throw again before hitting the ground. Not something that often comes up casually, but part of a lot of backups in the speedrun.
I don't know why that works, but it does.
It's very important in the third game, for sure. Really not much to talk about after that stage. We're just kind of waiting. Make sure to not do anything majorly wrong before we get to the next major obstacle in the run, Cleaver, the boss of this world.
Every now and then, Red Hot Ride can throw you off, but it's usually pretty straightforward.
Yeah, there's a small amount of tech, but it all amounts to something like a second. So, tell us how you approach Cleaver in a tournament race like this.
In PB attempts too? No, I do real strats here. So the problem with Cleaver is that the two major things that you can do to save time result in you falling into the lava. The first one is right after the first hit here, you can jump on top of cleaver and bounce off of him while he's still in his damaged state, and then you can catch the second hook. You can't control yourself if you jump on cleaver. You sort of bounce where the game puts you. So sometimes you bounce into the lava. So I just don't bother. You can see Niakky didn't go for it. Puwexil doesn't go for it either. So only saves maybe a second. And then the second is the lava fly, and a lot of people are aware of the lava fly, which saves 4 seconds.
Oh, that was scary. Did you see that on Niakky's stream?
His stream is buffering for me right now.
So he started jumping after hitting cleaver too early and almost missed the hook.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he jumped past the hook before it spawned. Could have ended very poorly. Luckily, he saved it. Yeah, the last optimization here, as you can see on Niakky's stream, just trying to make sure that those cannonballs spawn right when cleaver is right above your head, so you can hit him basically as soon as possible. It actually looks like Puwexil gained some time here. You know, I was talking about how Niakky can realistically PB on this race. Was plus 12 seconds after World 1, now -1.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he turns it up a bit.
Wonder if the PB would affect his strats.
I suspect it would. That's the reason I actually don't have my splits up when I'm doing these tournament races.
Okay, that's interesting. I have it up just for like reference for the commentators.
Yeah, it's kind of rude of me not to do it, honestly, but
no, you're the racer. You have priority.
No. Puwexil taking a death already in Barrel Bayou doesn't get a jump off of Randy. Probably, I would guess, incorrectly buffered the jump.
Yeah, I don't know.
Niakky, however, does fly over the lava and is going to go onto Glimmers at not a bad pace at all.
I'm still having problems with Niakky's stream.
So we said this earlier, your main goal in Glimmers is to not touch those walls. Ooh, and to not get hit by those fish, but you know. Corners are particularly bad to hit. You don't want to get caught in crevices. Crevices are the main ways to bleed time in this level. It won't look as bad as losing time in other levels, but it can lose a lot of time. Like I said just there, he got caught in that crevice a bit. Didn't lose as much time as he could have. Still not something you want to do. Sometimes doing this stage as Diddy can also throw you off because the hitboxes of the Kongs are slightly different.
Sometimes it feels like there's other differences too, but probably not.
That's the main difference from what I understand.
Yeah, it seems sometimes like Diddy swims up faster, but that's probably just my head.
Looks like Niakky's going to make it out of here. Not the cleanest Glimmers in the world, but certainly take it in a race like this.
Yeah. No going back regardless, right?
Exactly. We'll see if Puwexil can make up some time. Obviously, a ton of ways to do that. Not so much in World 3, with the major exception, of course, of Slime Climb. But we'll see if their strats differ, if maybe Niakky gets in his own head a bit because he has green splits. I know that can happen to me. So that's what I was saying earlier, is that if I have my splits up, I run the risk of just kind of obsessing over them and looking at them whenever I get the chance. And I've noticed that when I just don't have them up, I can regularly get, you know, within 30 seconds of my PB or better.
Is it just me having problems with Niakky, or you can see it?
It's buffered once for me. I haven't had too much trouble.
I can commentate on Puwexil's side anyway. Got a pretty reasonable Glimmers as well.
Yeah, so just in general, Niakky is moving on to Rattle Battle. Fresh off a race, how much do you hate the snake right now?
The snake didn't do too many bad things to me, I don't recall. So, snake, I'm just angry at On Guard mostly still.
So Spike and I were actually talking about whether Rattly or On Guard has the worst hitbox. For a long time, I thought it was Rattly just because it's so obvious when things go wrong.
Yeah, I don't have very many problems with On Guard.
I've started to think that it's actually On Guard that has the worst hitbox. Now both players on to Rattle Battle.
So around we do see the OS Komodos in the chat.
As is tradition.
Yeah. Which doesn't really look like a snake to me. It really does look like the Kremlings, though. Especially when they jump, they have their mouth wide open.
Well, isn't a Komodo a dragon? The Komodo dragon?
Yeah, but I think what they're doing the OS Komodo for is for the snake head.
Oh, it is. Don't get me wrong.
It doesn't look like. Sorry
about that. Yeah, I'm just saying, if it doesn't look like a snake to you, I don't think that's necessarily wrong. Niakky moving on to Slime Climb. If he manages to get this first try, he'll solidify his lead a bit.
You only get one try.
That's actually not true.
Well, yeah, it depends on how you screw up.
Sometimes it feels like the game decides for you whether you get the second try, though. Makes the throw and misses it. Wow.
Oh, no. He goes into the bonus?
That is too bad. Yeah, he threw left and missed it, so he goes into the bonus.
Well, it's Puwexil's
See if he knows any of the backups. Niakky is newer from what I understand, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just kind of went through this level naturally. Yeah, and that's the vibe I'm getting by watching him, for sure.
Taking it really slow?
Yeah, doing it is Dixie even, which is pretty slow, especially when ropes are involved. Puwexil, meanwhile, taking his shot at it. What's that?
If you're not familiar, Dixie is almost always a better Kong to play as.
Yes, absolutely.
Alright,
Puwexil coming up on it, and... Ooh, almost through too late, but gets it.
Yeah. So does that put him in the lead then, or is it pretty close yet?
Niakky appears to have died in Slime Climb.
Oh dear.
When I wasn't looking, so he's really far behind now. Using some of the information he's gained by doing it before to try and charge through this as Diddy this time. Almost getting betrayed. Meanwhile, Puwexil making his way through Bramble Blast.
No problem.
Ooh, missing a little wiggle there.
Yeah, small time loss.
Yeah, but does successfully set up this damage boost through this B. Not too hard to set up.
Vine Clip or no? I'm going to say Vine Clip.
I do think he goes for it nowadays.
Oh, okay.
Nope. I thought he might go for the behind version, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I couldn't say for sure that he wasn't going to do it until he fell down to the
Oh, yeah. Niakky does make his way through Slime Climb, albeit with a fanfare.
That fanfare is hard to avoid, though. Tricky.
So, Puwexil pretty much a full stage ahead here.
Yeah, it's still, Puwexil misses the wrong warp, it's tied again.
Yeah, Puwexil predictably not going for these quick shots. Standing behind this yellow plant in the background here. The reason you do that is because you do not have to jump with the TNT barrel in order to hit Pudgel while doing that.
Yeah. I usually still jump if I'm playing as Diddy, though.
I think with Diddy you actually have to, right?
I don't know. He throws weird.
Because I think you would have to stand too close to him in order to actually hit him, and Clubbo would just smack the TNT barrel out of your hand. Niakky also going for a regular maze skip. Understandable. Vine Clip saves a significant amount of time, but it's pretty tricky. And especially if you have, kind of this mid-40 time, like a 45, 46. vine clip far from necessary.
Yeah. I just started doing it myself.
Yeah, you blew my mind when you went for it. I thought you were a dirty strat skipper, sir.
Well, I was a bit more confident in my race this time than against Hippie. I did go for it against Hippie as well, and shouldn't have. Puwexil does finish up here.
So now we can finally talk about the game again.
Yeah. Now he's coming up against the owiest bee.
The owiest bee? Is that what you said?
That's his split names.
Oh, they're a little low resolution for me. I didn't even see it.
We'll see if maybe he can get the spider up for the scrolly scroll.
So I think that Hornet Hole is maybe the stage that people underrate the most in terms of how they allot their practice time. There's so many things, little things that can go wrong in this stage.
Yeah, that's true. I never practice it.
I actually practiced it a bunch before my race and still messed it up pretty majorly.
Ooh.
I feel like, I was about to say, I feel like after you finally get through the scrolly scroll, it's pretty simple. But everything up to that, just a lot of little optimizations that you have to worry about. Mistakes that can entirely throw you off for the rest of the level. So based on split times, it looks like Niakky is about 50 seconds behind.
Okay. That's not bad. 50 seconds is like their PB separation. And we said anything could happen with their PBs, so...
We'll see how Niakky navigates Hornet Hole. Not a lot to talk about on Puwexil's stream with Target Terror.
Yeah. I'll let you have it then, because he's still buffering.
Yeah, I don't know what it looks like on stream, but he's got the Squitter Barrel. Skips halfway, which is a little scary. I've seen multiple people fall into these pits in this stage. Does set up the scrolly scroll pretty well. Ooh, almost takes the same damage that Puwexil did. But looks like gonna get through this stage pretty cleanly. Yep. So Puwexil navigating through Target Terrible, as we call it. Is he a dirty swag skipper too, do you know?
Ooh, I think he'll go for the swag. I don't know, I feel pressured to go into the swag for the tournament, for sure. I never do when I'm doing...
I felt the opposite. The tournament has made me want to never go for swag because I know the chat will get angry.
So you just want to make people mad. I see.
Yeah, I want it. There's more than one way to engage people in a race.
This is true.
That's all I'm saying. But I do think Puwexil will go for it.
He's not going for the flitter skips, which is fine. Not a big deal. That's definitely a strat you can skip.
Ooh, does skip the swag.
Skip the swag. I mean, a lot of times you'll see newer runners also go for the swag just for that extra life that might be necessary.
I don't think that's ever happened. I find it hard to believe.
What? People getting extra lives so that they don't game over?
Do you think that newer players are just like, yeah, I need to get this extra life, so I'm going to risk dying?
You don't die, you lose a con.
What if you only have one con?
Well, then you don't go for it.
Anyway, Puwexil very cleanly.
Very clean. He does the safe strat, which, by the way, is guaranteed to work every time. That's the only reason I can get it first try.
Yeah? How long ago did you skip over to it?
Like a week ago.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm like 14 for 15 right now.
That's not bad at all.
And the one that failed was definitely not the setup's fault.
And Niakky makes it through Target Terrible, so he's going to get his own chance at Brambler. Hopefully Puwexil will not pull a Sylvite and die at the number 2 guy, even though that would even out the race a bit.
Yep.
Niakky taking Brambler a little safe on the climb. We'll see if he goes for the Kibble's corner. Doesn't matter though. Gets it pretty cleanly. And he's out of there, onto the rickety race himself.
Nice. I'm happy. Always good to see a close race. Oh dear.
Oh no, the worst feeling. Dying after getting the DK coin.
That wasn't even the number 2 guy. So that means the race is pretty much tied at this point, doesn't it?
Yeah, Niakky almost dying to the number 9 guy.
The number 9 guy.
Don't read chat, everybody.
Don't read chat.
But yeah, Niakky actually with a slight lead here. I lied.
Oh, is he dead too?
Niakky taking a death with the number 6 guy.
I don't even know these guys. Which one is the number 6 guy?
That's the one that Puwexil just hit on his stream.
How does? Well, I can't. I don't know. How did they kill you?
You just jump into a pit.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So we have hit the unspoken Rickety Race Infinite.
Yeah.
Potentially here. What a game, the chat says.
Alright. Puwexil's past the number 2 guy, which is supposed to be the hard one.
Yeah, that was not his problem before, though. Does get the KONG letters for the extra life.
Yeah, that's important.
Jumps on the number 1 guy. Just has to jump 4 more times and
Alright.
can't possibly die.
Nope. Even if he wanted to.
Oh, Niakky almost died to the number 2 guy, actually. Take it very close. But meanwhile, Puwexil on the Mudhole Marsh.
Which is probably the best example of what TKC2 speedrunning is. A lot of crazy rolls and wrong warps, all packed into one.
See if we, oh, no. Oh, I thought he was gonna, oh, geez. Going for a little big boy to get that invincibility barrel there, but after it doesn't work, just decides to normally throw his girlfriend into it instead.
Still goes for the rolls through the flitters.
Oh yeah, that's just faster.
Well, I always thought if you're going to roll through the flitters, then you might as well not grab the invincibility barrel.
Oh, the invincibility barrel for me is mainly to not get hit by the birds.
Yeah.
Niakky also taking the invincibility barrel. Gained a little bit of time on him, actually. Gained a little bit of time just due to not having that little flub with the invincibility barrel.
Right. Doing the big boy there is an interesting strat, though.
I don't honestly think that he meant to do it.
Okay.
Puwexil does get through Mudhole pretty cleanly.
It sounded plausible.
Took the Dixie method. Ooh! I don't know if stream can see it, but that was really scary for Niakky. Cannonball almost fell into the swamp.
Oh dear.
Niakky can gain a little bit more time here. Goes for the Diddy method.
Puwexil nails the big boy and Ramby Rumble.
Kind of an underrated time save, that big boy.
Yeah.
Does get the halfway barrel. We haven't seen a lot of people die in Ramby Rumble, and hopefully that trend continues.
It's true.
Niakky going back for this cannonball.
Is that a good idea ever, or is it usually faster to just beat the level?
I'm pretty sure you're supposed to beat the level. I'm honestly just not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
He gets it on the second try, though. Maybe he's just more comfortable
then.
going back for it than finishing the level. There's something to be said for what you're comfortable with, right?
Yeah, for sure. So that puts them less than a stage apart.
Puwexil onto King's Sting. Probably top 2, if not the hardest boss to optimize.
Yeah. I mean, Cudgel's got to be the hardest, right?
Absolutely.
She's the only one with real strats involved.
Yeah, you gotta count in that one. I'm still waiting for this 2 cycle in this tournament. I want it to happen real bad.
Yeah.
Ooh, Puwexil with a little bit of a flub starting this phase of the fight. Manages to recover pretty cleanly, though.
It's all good.
So once again, at the end of this world, Puwexil basically a full stage ahead of Niakky. Nothing that cannot be surmounted, though.
Yep. Every world we get to gives him less leeway, though.
Especially with Ghostly Grove. Sometimes, because I really like this level, I start to have fun, and then because I'm having fun, I just die.
Yeah, it can happen. I have to work really hard to make sure I don't go for some of these rolls under the ghost vines.
Mm-hmm.
Even though usually, like, I'm probably 90% consistent, they don't save enough time for me to go for them. Even though I really want to.
Niakky also
going for the wrong warp strats. Puwexil. No, just kidding.
Niakky also does not get Team Cycle. Actually has a bit of a messy fight. Loses a bit of time, but he is out of World 4.
My stream shows him in Ramby Rumble.
Maybe refresh?
I did. I think he's back for me now, so I can watch both runners finally.
Meanwhile, Puwexil onto Haunted Hall.
Tupac's library.
You will see him do a lot of these small jumps up and down hills. Save a bit of time throughout the level. Except that first one.
And the second one. Does he know to jump up hills?
He must. I have faith.
No. He's 0 for 3.
Maybe not.
I mean, it's not a big deal. What is it, 2 seconds? If you do all of them,
I think it's less than
each individual jump probably saves 2 frames or something.
It does that random jump there, though. Well, my faith has been betrayed.
Niakky has a pretty interesting despawn there for the cloak. I didn't think the cloak even loaded, and he already despawned it.
Next leveled.
Yeah, jeez.
Players in the same stage for the first time in a while.
This is one of the longest stages, right?
Longer for sure. All of the cart stages are pretty long, honestly.
Yeah.
Without the boost barrel at the beginning of Rickety Race, you know, it's about as comparable to these other ones. See if Puwexil makes it over the UBs, as I call them.
It does look like
one of those bees is only there on the United States version of the game.
Niakky is jumping up the hills, so he's got better strats.
Well, he's going to gain that 1 to 2 seconds.
Gonna gain the 1 to 2 seconds. For sure.
And Puwexil is through. And this is where this world starts to get scary. All of the next 3 stages, from my point of view, pretty risky, pretty easy to die on, require a bit of practice. Webwoods requires a lot of practice. And I actually think everyone in chat should watch how Puwexil plays Webwoods. If you're new and getting into this game, Puwexil's Webwoods is something that you should aspire to. It's very consistent, very clean, not a lot of risk of dying compared to a lot of the quote-unquote top-tier runners.
It does take a weird hit on that porcupine there. Usually if you roll through it like he did, you just keep going, but I guess he landed on top of it somehow.
Yeah, that was kind of what I figured too. Switching back to Diddy here.
Niakky's out now. He can also play through the World 5 Gauntlet.
And Puwexil going to end the stage as Dixie, just going to fly over everything that could possibly kill him.
Yeah. Very easy.
It's like,
very safe.
We're just playing Super Mario World here, folks.
Not even that slow.
No, it used to be considered faster before they realized that the Diddy method allows the team up.
Yeah. Pretty much it.
So Puwexil is just going to fall a lot for a long time.
Yeah. 3 damage strats.
I would imagine. That's what you do, right?
I do 2 damage, I think.
I
don't know what they're called.
I don't know what the nomenclature is, but you definitely took damage 3 times.
Well, the 3rd damage doesn't count. The headbutt one doesn't count. Looks like he's going for 2 damage strats. Because there's damageless. You still do headbutt, right?
Yeah, I call that 1 damage.
Oh,
maybe I've just been wrong this whole time. Or maybe everyone else has been wrong.
I mean, technically you're right.
Let's see if he gets this headbutt.
Yeah, it's all good.
And he does.
It's all good.
There's an incredibly safe setup for that headbutt that I actually went for in my race.
Yeah, I've seen some people doing that.
Not super necessary. It's just a matter of, if you want to get through this level cleanly, just do it. You won't have to worry about dying. Niakky going for some very interesting PCP strats, actually. Oh, Puwexil actually taking top root.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that might be faster if you have 2 Kongs, because I know the optimal route. It's not?
No.
The optimal route doesn't get a second Kong till when you're the spider, so it can't do that.
Right.
But I wasn't sure. You're saying it's not, though, so I'll believe you.
The wiki says it's not, I believe it.
Does it? Okay.
Oh
dear.
Puwexil flubs one of those instant platforms, and just like that, it's almost tied.
Yeah.
Puwexil with maybe a 4-second lead at most. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Puwexil once again takes that top route. Niakky going for the bottom route.
Puwexil opts not to get the green balloon.
Yeah, so one of the reasons that top route is faster is because you actually have to get that second Kong, and that eats time. And getting the Kong not being an animal buddy is just much slower. Ooh, Niakky took some
but if
there.
you're going to get the Kong anyway, like I get the Kong anyway.
Oh, I see what you're saying. In that case, I'm not sure. Oh, Niakky did something a little scary there. Got the extra Kong and took damage on almost the same frame.
Yeah, it's an interesting damage boost.
Ooh, Niakky definitely scared himself a bit there. Go for some damage boosts, and now I think Niakky actually slightly ahead.
Yeah, but you are seeing the Puwexil's patented strats that you mentioned earlier. Nice and easy.
Yeah, and I wouldn't consider that death earlier like anything against his strats. That was just part of playing the game.
Just a mishap. This is what happens when you play Web Woods.
You're actually gonna get to see just how much time these damage boosts save. Niakky getting this pretty cleanly. And now with a pretty significant lead.
Yeah.
If Crow 2 goes well for him, I think this is going to be an interesting World 6. Oh, Puwexil. I thought he only had 1 Kong there.
Oh, no, he
took damage.
Hey, Crow fight. Who gets better RNG? The only RNG that matters is the second one. I mean, it all matters a little bit, but the second one is actually significant.
Yeah, especially just because of the way that you set up and optimize this boss fight.
Yeah, you really want right spawn, and you really don't want left spawn.
Mid spawn is fine.
Mid spawn is, yeah.
Puwexil taking this climb pretty safe. And actually 2 mid spawns. So not terrible RNG. Did you see what Puwexil got?
Puwexil got
for barrel spawn?
He got the middle spawn, yeah.
I don't know the middle spawn? Okay.
Yeah.
Niakky with a gold split on World 5.
Wow.
So good job to him.
Very impressive.
Was that all mid spawns for this boss?
Maybe. I only paid attention to the second one.
Oh no, I think there was a right spawn on the first phase for one of them. That would have been unlikely if they were all mid spawns.
All right, let's see who the game wants to troll more. Yeah, he takes
it's definitely Niakky.
Oh, takes another hit, and so Puwexil's winning.
Yeah, the lead just switches right back. What a race we have upon us.
I hate this fish.
But do you agree that this, like, very exciting race came upon us very suddenly? Like, it seemed like Puwexil was so far ahead. And then it dumped in Webwoods. And now the lead is just switched right back.
Niakky really clutching it out.
We are not done, folks. Strap in. Niakky taking kind of a scary hit there, actually. Ooh.
Yeah, he does have the save barrel.
All right,
that area just around the midpoint is really terrible. And Puwexil doesn't quite get the diagonal boost. Gets a little bit of it.
Hits a wall, too, actually.
Yeah. And Niakky's not far behind him.
No, he gained a little bit of time in that last section of Arctic. What a race.
Yeah, this could come down to the wire.
Like, this could come down to their selection of strats. Like, that's a major reason why Niakky caught up in Webwoods.
For sure. Not a lot going on in Windy Well that we'd see differently, though, unless one of them's going for more wind skips.
Ooh, it takes damage there. There's a lot of easy ways to die.
Yeah, if you're not careful. Puwexil gets the damage boost after midway. Niakky does as well. Pretty much leaves it up to Ghetto Bees.
I'd be surprised if those made an appearance, to be honest.
Yeah. Could get the, I don't know, I feel like some people have called it windy continuation, something, right at the end here.
What?
Puwexil gets it. After you go through the Ghetto Bees, you can actually have the wind continue blowing you upwards.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that it had a name.
I always called it another wind skip, but then I think somebody else came into chat and said it's a windy continuation. It's a dumb name, but it's what it was called.
Well, since we're not naming things accurately, I'm just going to start calling that the honey slide.
Unbelievable. You know how strongly I feel about that.
Well, yeah, there's the jungle slide in Hornet Hole, and now we have this honey slide in Windy Well.
Not much to talk about, I guess, besides that, is there? Small things you can do in Castle Crush are reduce lag. And mostly that involves not killing animals.
Yes, much like at GDQs, we often try to save the animals, with the exceptions of one that make the game lag.
Yeah. Well, there's also, like, right here, these, whatever, clobbers? No, what are they called? Clamp-ons. If you jump on them, it slows the game down a little bit. So if you avoid them.
I believe if you have too many on screen, actually, for that one part that
Niakky just so you want to jump on either one or two, I don't know. I watched the task, and it did stuff like that. You jump on the first one, for sure. But the last two, I don't think the task jumps on them, specifically to save a frame.
I didn't know if it was, if it saved frames or actually just saved nothing, so they were going for a little bit of swag.
It might be swag, but I don't know. You can definitely tell when killing animals will... or bad guys will...
And just super, super close coming out of Castle Crush. This is kind of unbelievable how close this has been coming out of World 5.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the race go back and forth a couple more times.
Yeah,
because do we know what kind of strats Puwexil goes for in Talk to Tower?
Not a clue.
I think he goes for similar strats to yours, where he short hops.
Yeah, I was gonna say he
probably does parts where you would have to charge. But I think Niakky goes for some more ambitious strats.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Puwexil misses the fish. So that's probably a little bit of a time loss for him. Making the race even closer.
Yeah, a little bit. Got Alright, we got a pretty clean throw your girlfriend, and we got some gentleman strats on the bottom screen.
I was expecting the gentleman strats from Niakky.
I was also.
But that does mean he's going to have a less optimal roll here. Probably. He'll probably hit the crush at the end.
He actually went through it.
Okay, that's pretty impressive.
And if either of these players misses this wrong morph, that's a big lead for them all of a sudden.
Yeah. And this is the end game now, so...
Never mind. Niakky takes a little bit of damage. Puwexil has a chance to pull ahead here.
Still comes down to a very safe climb.
Yeah, for sure. Takes a safe climb. Niakky takes those fast ropes up. Puwexil going for the clash.
Gets it.
Gets the clash. Throws left.
He's out.
And we're in there.
Here's Niakky.
Niakky goes for the clash. Throws the barrel. Does not get it. Oh, no.
Oh, did he not wait long enough? I don't... that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Alright, well, the game's not over yet, but Puwexil taking a very significant lead. Not one easily caught up just through doing snake tech either.
No.
Oh, Niakky messes up getting back down there. I'm going for I call this the Paco setup. It's not terribly optimal.
It's what works, you know?
Yeah, but if it works for you, and it does work for him.
Okay. But yeah,
that does go for some charges there. So let's see if Niakky can make up some time.
And Niakky's going for double jumps. Short hop double jumps. Not the Omegas, but that is faster than what Puwexil did, so...
Oh man, assuming you get them.
Yeah, if everything goes well, I was about to say, if everything goes well, then...
Ooh, gets this very nice jump there.
I can't do that. It's so, I don't know, so hard to do. I really want to.
And it actually makes up a decent amount of time there.
Yeah.
You know, Puwexil is still significantly far ahead, but Niakky, just through movement, could make any mistake that Puwexil makes that much more costly.
Up in three. Up in three. He doesn't even make the fourth web just for safety.
Yeah, we were talking about how that's become kind of a tournament staple. Up in 3.5.
Up in 3.5.
I got need that last web.
My fourth one was... Alright, so that was a reasonable world from Puwexil's end. He saves time relative to his PB.
Up in 3 from Niakky?
Up in 3.
Yeah, Niakky actually losing time on his PB. Not too surprising.
Yeah.
Screech a sprint, nothing to sleep on.
Yeah.
I know Puwexil does go for like mono moonwalk strats, I think. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Just gonna try to moonwalk so that he can get through everything as fast as possible. I didn't know that you could jump after the moonwalk. I thought that would be too slow.
Yeah,
today I learned.
It scares me when he does that, but I guess it's fine. Pops for the save, which is I applaud that.
It's gonna come down to squawks.
Yeah. People have also been saying if you get the save after playing as squawks, but I don't know if that's something to bother doing.
Yeah, ooh, and Niakky might have just cost himself this race right there.
Which one is that? Is that the devil bird? Which one is that? That bird has a name. I know that bird has a name.
I've not heard it.
Demon bird? I know it has a name. But
in any case, race still not over. Puwexil does manage to get to the end of the stage with both Kongs. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. They actually recently discovered how to get out of Screech Sprint without getting the fanfare. If you just... and without landing on the ground. It has to do with not taking this booster here that Niakky just got.
Alright, so Niakky's hope lies on how much of a jerk K. Rool decides to be to Puwexil.
Yeah. A lot of it's going to come down to how Puwexil feels, though.
Oh, wow. Niakky going a little bit crazy in that last corridor there with only the one leg to speak of.
You only have the one Kong. That's the scariest thing right there.
Yeah, it's not Ogre yet, folks.
Not Ogre. It doesn't look like Puwexil's screwing around now.
Yeah, so since you just came off your race, tell us about the mindset that you're in while you're fighting K. Rool. You don't necessarily know how you're
around. I was so confident in myself. But yeah, no, if you don't know, you just I don't even know. You have to sort of think about whether or not you want to do the quick throws, or if you think it's better for you to just wait, because the quick throws can save time, but probably only a second at most relative to your opponent. And so if you think a second's going to help you win, then you should go for it. But a lot of times it's probably easier to just go for the the dust frames and wait for him to be sucking in with his gun before throwing.
Yeah, perhaps one of the biggest disparities between risk and reward is the dustless throws.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it's when you're this far in, you mostly just have to say, well, if I'm ahead now, then as long as I don't screw up, and if I'm behind, then the only thing I can do is hope my opponent screws up. No blue ditties in Puwexil, that's another thing you have to think about too. Is, am I gonna do blue ditty?
Does the safe team up throw over the red gas? Totally understandable.
And that's something else that brings Niakky a little bit closer. But again, probably not enough.
Nothing short of dropping a cycle is going to save him now.
Yeah.
And given that we are normal colored Diddy, I don't think it's going to happen.
And coming up on the last throw here.
And Puwexil has done with a time of 47:58.
Puwexil.
GG's to him.
When Niakky does get the red ditty in the end, which loses time somehow. I'm not sure if it causes lag or something, but I know it's not good. The purple smoke.
Yeah, so Puwexil gets out of a bit of a nail biter there.
That was a really close race. And, we sort of were expecting that from the get-go, too, given how close their PBs were. Right, the final throw from Niakky. Niakky confirmed feminist right there at the end. Niakky.Duns with a 48-48. So 50 seconds
bunny time. Exactly 50 seconds apart. GG's to both of these runners. Let's see if we can get them in here.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, speaking of.
Hey guys, I can't believe I actually won that. Now I know how Elmegas felt last night.
It was a nail biter for sure.
I thought for sure it was over after that rickety race death. I don't even know how that happened. I was cruising through, I was past number 2 guy, and then I was dead.
Yeah,
well, Niakky actually also died in rickety race.
Ah.
That explains a lot then, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Because during the down times in the K. Rool fight, I kept looking over to see when he got done, and then,
You were losing then at that point,
I was just absolutely floored.
Did you think you were losing right up to K. Rool?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought I was.
Oh,
I pretty much thought I was losing. Well, I thought. I mean, I actually kind of funny story.
Sure.
Pretty much right as the race was getting started, somebody actually rang my doorbell, and I wasn't expecting company in the middle of this race. That kind of startled me a bit, and then I failed the 1-2 wrong warp and was kind of on tilt a bit after that, but. After I got first try Brambler, I thought maybe I still had a chance, but then after the Rickety Ray's death, I pretty much thought it was over, basically.
Do you normally skip the hothead rung work?
No, I normally go for it.
So tell us why you decided not to go for it.
The I did get the hothead rung warp.
Oh.
It was Niakky who didn't go for it.
Niakky skipped it. My mistake. I apologize.
Yeah. There were a few things that I wasn't planning on going for, but did anyway because I was sure I was losing, like the Cannon's Claim jump, which I just learned yesterday, along with the Throw Your Girlfriend route.
Right. Niakky's here now. Hello, Niakky.
Hey, Niakky.
Hello. GG Puwexil.
Oh, thanks. I thought for sure you had that. I just kept looking over during the K-roll fight to see when you got done, just because I had some pretty epic chokes.
Yeah, I was watching the race. It was a heartbreaking. Yeah, well, it was a very good race, but I hate.
Originally I wasn't planning to watch the VOD back just because I'm not proud of my run, really, for the most part, other than the end game. But it sounds like the race itself was pretty close. So
yeah, especially through most of World 6, it was a nail biter for sure. It was great because normally there's a bit of difference in the stream delay, but yours was very close. So we got to see just how close it was.
Yeah, well,
how did your run go overall, Niakky?
I can't believe I missed Slime Climb. I can't believe that. I don't. I mean, I found a safe strat to do it, but it doesn't work.
Oh no!
Nevertheless, no. And even died in Slime Climb. I know I have done some mistakes here and there, but Slime Climb killed me. Because I thought it was going to work, but something went wrong with the IDs. Even in Med Hole, I didn't get the wrong warp because the D-pad didn't want to react as I wanted. So so the flower went off the screen, so I knew it was welcome to bonus game. That Slime Climb, I was sure it was going to work, and then when I see the bonus game, I was like, oh, shit.
But
I really enjoyed the race.
Yeah, I got all of the wrong warps that I went for, which was basically all of them except for Top Sail. But I just had some really costly and stupid deaths, pretty much all over the place. Well, you know what? I take that back. I failed main brace, and then I kind of when I decided to go for it, well, I was still kind of a little off my game because of the doorbell ringing. I didn't really factor in just having to get another Kong in order to do the warp zone barrel in 1-3.
All right, so I would love to talk to you guys all night, but we still have 5 more races, I think, tonight.
Oh, yeah, I know. You almost think there was a deadline for the tournament bracket coming up or something.
Yeah, weird. So
we have now Order versus Jake, I think.
Yes, we do.
See it. Before I go, I'm now out of the tournament. I want to say that I really enjoyed it. I think I wouldn't have learned the game if the tournament wasn't in planning to do. So I really appreciate. I really have a lot of fun, and the community is awesome. The commentators, everything. So thank you for doing the tournament, and enjoy the rest of the rounds.
Thanks for playing, Niakky. Thanks for joining.
I mean, that's basically my attitude too. Going into this, my only goal was to use it as motivation to get better at the run.
Good luck, Puwexil, with the tournament.
Oh, thank you. Good luck with your future runs.
Yeah, thank you both. Seems like the tournament has worked out for both of you, but we are going to start to get switched over.
All right, I will hop off.
Jake versus Otter.
Later, guys.
Later.
All right, see ya.
GG's to both of you.
So what's up next then?
I told you, up next we have Otter versus Niakky. Or Otter versus Niakky. Otter versus Jake F1891.
Ooh, this is gonna be good. I'm a fan of Otter Lynx at this point. They're a fantastic runner.
Oh, we're predicting the upset. I believe you're also swapping out for my man Dustpan here.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he was coming in, but it looks like he's here now. So I'll peace. You guys enjoy the commentary.
I intend to.
Run. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for commentating with me. And thank you so much for commentating with me, Dustpan.
Well, thank you for having me, Sylvite. It's an honor. And shout-outs to McKill for taking my spot at the last minute. Thank you for that. Muchly appreciated.
I've been talking for 2 hours straight, so if you want to talk about Otter and Jake for about a minute while I get a beverage of some kind, I would very much appreciate it. I'll be right back.
That's quite all right. I will do my best. Clear my throat here. Hello, Speed Gaming. I am Dustpan2112, also known as Dustpan2112. Thank you for watching this amazing race between two runners of the game that are very stark contrasts of each other. Otter Lynx came onto the scene a little while ago, and with the rest of the Chilean speedrunner assembly there, and got very good at the game very fast. As you can see by his, well, you can't see his splits, I'm sorry. He has a low 41, 4109, I believe, which he just got a couple of days ago in the hotfix race on the GDQ channel. And Jake we have coming in semi-recently, a little bit before the tournament was announced, actually. It was started learning the game and got very good very quickly, and recently cut the twig of twig's time, I should say, 44 minutes and 16 seconds. And now moved on mainly to Super Metroid, so this is more of a hobby for him. Just this speed game here, but he's still not to be underestimated. Anything can happen in these races with two very, very talented runners, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it.
As am I.
Good.
All right, so do we have the Speed Runs Live channel set up and all that, right?
I believe so. I haven't set up a channel, to be honest.
All right, yeah, there is a new one set up for this one. Looks like Jake's last race for Super Metroid is running behind. Do I see that right?
Yeah, it looks like he's I think he's done, actually. He might have just finished his race. His timer isn't moving anymore. That's true.
So he needs to make sure that he actually got 100% of everything in his last race. Otherwise, it's invalidated or something. So who's your favorite to win this, Dustin?
To win this race tonight?
Yes.
It's tough to say, you know. And the theme of the tournament lately has been anything can happen. A very, very bad run for Otter could turn into a very, very good run for Jake, and they could end up with their times very close together. Or a very, very good run for Otter can turn into a blowout for Jake.
Yeah, Otter's actually been chasing this 40 kind of hard lately.
Yes.
PB'd twice the day of the GDQ hotfix race.
Twice? Oh, okay. I lied to the chat then. I said he PB'd recently. I didn't say he PB'd twice. I'm sorry, chat.
He PB'd once during the race, and I believe another time immediately before the race.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of nuts.
He's really been putting forth a lot of effort in the game. He's my next bet to hit that 40 plateau.
Oh, mine too, absolutely. Honestly, I could see him going really far in this tournament.
He can, yes.
You know, and it's kind of funny. A lot of the discussion over favorites to win the tournament have been focused on people who have times under 41 minutes. But there are plenty of people who are, you know, they have times under 41:10 that could very just as realistically win. Favorites such as Otter Lynx, such as Kipples, definitely do not take them lightly.
Mm-hmm. I feel like anybody who has a roughly a 42 or a 41 and can consistently 42 or 41 has a chance to run away with this.
It's all about the consistency, right?
Exactly. And whether or not Crow wants to play nice.
Yeah.
As always.
In Otter's case, say.
Say.
So it looks like Jake's finally readying up here, which is good.
Right, he's just letting us know about Deer Force.
Deer Force 1.
Mm-hmm.
Over under on him just forgetting to take that down before the race starts?
I think he might leave it up. But then again, no one would care. So, oh no, he's taking it down now. Seems like he's the only one that cares.
Hey.
Otter now is soothing his fans with some Enchanted Woods music. For those who are watching the stream and not the Speed Gaming channel. Jake also involved in the Super Metroid 100% tournament, which I believe he was just coming off of before coming up to this race. So it should also be very interesting. As I stated earlier, a very bad run from Otter could be an opportunity for Jake. But I know that Jake hasn't played much today, so He could be a little bit rusty.
I think it's fairly uncontroversial that Otter has just played more than Jake in general. I think you were talking about that while I was gone.
Yes, Otter got very good very quickly, and seems to have been able to maintain consistency, getting those 43s, those 41s, and 42s.
Yeah, Jake actually also got good very quickly, but just kind of jumped off the train once he cut the twig, as we called it.
Right. After he hit that his goal time of 44 minutes and 16 seconds, he cut it and got a 44:10, I believe, or 44:10, yeah. And hasn't really tried to put forth much effort into beating that at all. And honestly, I don't see him doing it. He's just
didn't he PB on his last race?
No, he was 1 second off.
Oh.
Race PB.
Yeah, I know he could have 43'd if he didn't drop a cycle to K roll.
Yes, and in his PB, if he didn't fail CLC, he would have 43'd as well.
So maybe this will be the 43.
Maybe both runners will 43.
Ooh, that would be a close race. No, he did PB as a 44.07.
Oh, darn.
You just lying to me.
Sorry.
Looks like we are close to getting ready. And Jake has dot readied. So we are good to go on this end, and it looks like the race will start any second.
Well, best of luck to both runners.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's funny, I always talk about how the interests of the racers and the interests of literally everyone else are very different.
Mm-hmm.
The racers, they want to win. They don't necessarily care how close it is. Everyone else just wants some good old-fashioned entertainment.
Someone just wants to see some rolling monkeys. And if you want to see some rolling monkeys, you're in the right channel, folks. You're going to see a lot of rolling and spinning and jumping